I have a lot to talk about. The last video I made was on the night of April 13th, and it's now midday on the 16th, and a lot has happened. And I just finished editing the video from the 13th. A lot of the videos I do lately talking to myself in Dia vlog or Gaia vlog, I don't have to edit, but I knew I had to edit that one to put in all the different screenshots and screen recordings, and it was really a disaster. I don't know if I got it all right and perfect in terms of everything, but it's good enough. But at least now I know what the heck I was talking about last. And in my last video on the 13th, I was talking about how I did take the dopamine boosters that day on the Friday, and I hadn't yet gone to sleep to find out what the effect would be on sleep. The night before, I didn't take the dopamine boosters and I slept better. I didn't have to get up and take an extra dose of the vitamins and supplements I'm taking for sleep. So what happened on the 13th was that I did in fact have to get up. I was trying to sleep for almost an hour and I couldn't sleep, even though I did hook up the Sleep Cycle app and it showed that I was in deep sleep for that time, but I was awake. So maybe I was breathing like I was in deep sleep. And this is the thing with kind of like dreaming awake, like being awake, but it being in this dreamland and being able to see this stuff on the inner mind screen, yet wanting to go to sleep because that's what the material body needs. So I did have to get up, take more sleep supplements, and this is the thing, waiting too many days. Now I don't even know which day I did what. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I took the dopamine boosters, had trouble sleeping. So then, yeah, that's right. I took a screenshot of the hour that I wasn't able to sleep. And then I got up, took the extra supplements, and I fell asleep. And I'm having trouble remembering what I took exactly. It doesn't matter. I had to take more sunflower lecithin, maybe tryptophan, glycine, taurine, zinc, probably not zinc. And then I did fall asleep. So then on the 14th, which was Saturday, I didn't take any dopamine boosters at all. I didn't take the rhodiola or the tyrosine. I probably took magnolia bark, and that's the only one, and I don't think I took the skull cap. So there's not that many dopamine boosters. Some of them work on a dopamine a little bit, some of the neuroplasticity ones. Okay, my brain is getting really confused, and I'm going to leave that first part in just to show that I'm losing track of everything. I think it was on the 13th that I didn't take dopamine boosters. At least I didn't take tyrosine. And on the night of the 13th, I did sleep well without getting up and taking the extra stuff. The Sleep Cycle app says I slept from 11:08 to 8:05 and I had 87% sleep quality according to their algorithm, which is good. But then the next day I got up and I was thinking, well, I may as well test these dopamine boosters again just to see if it really does affect my sleep, or maybe it's something else. So on the 14th, I took the dopamine boosters, I took the tyrosine, I took the maybe not skull cap, I don't know if I have any, but I took the rhodiola. And then so on the night of the 14th, I couldn't sleep. And so I have a screenshot here of the hour that I was unable to sleep. in the night to get up at like 1 in the morning to have to take these extra sleep vitamins, which the night before I fell asleep at, or I was in bed and fell asleep quickly after 11:08. So another thing is I haven't been wearing my darkness glasses as much because I haven't been home. But anyway, here's that screenshot. So I got up, I took extra glycine, maybe taurine, maybe tryptophan, things like that. But one thing I did take extra, and I decided to take after reading an article about lithium orotate, or about the orotate molecule, and it said that at high doses, lithium works on dopamine, meaning bringing it down. They wouldn't want it to boost it in so-called bipolar, but at low doses it works on serotonin. So I was thinking, well, if I take a higher dose of lithium orotate, it might work on the dopamine, that extra dopamine that I boosted up, and help me sleep. So I took another close to 10 milligrams of lithium. Lithium orotate, it would weigh more, but it's elemental lithium through lithium orotate, which is the equivalent of 2 of the tablets of the Hans Napier Advanced Research brand. I took one of my ready-made caps of that because lithium can be sedating as well. And I did fall asleep. So that was the experiment, that those dopamine boosters do indeed make it harder for me to sleep. And so last night, after not taking any of the dopamine boosters all day, I went to sleep with my regular sleep vitamins. You know, I took the regular regime of 5 sunflower lecithin, 2 tryptophan, 2 zinc, and some glycine and some taurine. Those are kind of extra, but I didn't have to take extra on top of that. And I also, there's probably one more in there that I'm forgetting, but the other one that I took an extra lithium orotate. I took an extra 10 milligrams because I'm wondering if it would be good to up the lithium a little bit, not for a super long time, just to help with the sleep. Since I've been doing this boosting dopamine thing, and I'm going to stop doing it, this is my conclusion. The energy, well, it's a living conclusion. The energy, since it goes like this in my energetic biorhythm, I've never had to take dopamine boosters at this point in the cycle before, so I'm going to stop taking them, even though I was planning to stop early May. It's looking like it's better to stop now, mid-April. I will continue with some of the light therapy, like the blue light a little bit, and maybe the sad light as well, if it doesn't bother my sleep. But maybe if I cut those out too, and maybe even caffeine, maybe I won't have to take as many sleep remedies, because ideally I'd be able to go to sleep with a couple tryptophan and 1 melatonin, but I take 2 melatonin. So I am more energetic, and I was boosting the energy, and then I'm having to take all this stuff to sleep, which is pretty safe long term, but it would be nice to not have to take as many because it costs money and things like that. But at least I know I have that option. So now what I'm planning is to not boost dopamine, and I will again if my energy and ability to do things starts to wane. And then when the energy builds up again, if it does either naturally through not boosting dopamine, just because the point of energy in the cycle building up, or whether I decide to boost dopamine at some point and get a bit more energetic and I'm not able to sleep, I might try the branch chain amino acid sedating strategy to try it out and see what it does. So that's where I'm at with the sleep thing. And last night I slept I think it was almost 10 hours, whereas the night before when I had trouble sleeping, I slept only like 6.5, and that's not enough. And I did feel kind of tired yesterday. And feeling kind of tired yesterday might have been partly what also helped me sleep. So there are a lot of factors, and I'll keep going with trying to figure out what is what. So, yeah. And I won't keep talking about this sleep thing per se, only in the context of if I boost myself up and I can't sleep or something, I'll talk about it in terms of hopefully not having to take as many sleep supplements at night. Maybe I have to at this point in the energy of my biorhythm, because I just have more energy and it's harder for the brain to calm down and go to sleep. And at least I know that I can make myself go to sleep with supplements. I am taking 2 quetiapine a night, but in the past when I've had that sensation where I'm trying to fall asleep and my body just goes and I wake up, I've had to take more psychopharmaceuticals to fall asleep, like trazodone or more quetiapine. So this is a success for me to know that my brain can be energetic and have trouble sleeping, and then I take more supplements. And when I do that, my brain cells don't get all freaked out because they're being poisoned, which I think might play a part in the whole switch into psychosis, is that there's this not sleeping and the brain is having trouble sleeping, and in order to make it sleep we poison it, and then no wonder it freaks out and goes into all this freaky dream mixed with reality stuff. Because I can see I'm trying to fall asleep, I'm going into this dream fantasy land that's like a waking dream, and even that screenshot that I took when I was not sleeping, it showed that I was in deep sleep. So maybe I was breathing like I was in deep sleep, but I was awake. So it's like being in deep sleep, but awake, and then having this dream stuff, which makes it feel like this real thing, like this real reality. But then if I was to poison my brain, it might start to have this dream stuff that my brain seems to be going into, because it's going into a deep sleep, but still awake, and then experiencing the dream realm because of that. But now it makes it go into the waking state, but the brain cells are poisoned, so they get freaked out. And then that manifests as human behavior freaking out, and it manifests as the dream stuff being bad and scary because the brain cells are scared. So I can see the lots of layers of that, and I think this experimenting with taking extra supplements to fall asleep, I think that's why I saw that magical land. I don't even know if I talked about that. I can't remember when I saw that. I think I did talk about that because that was the first night I had trouble sleeping. My brain like saw this magical golden sparkly forest dream realm, and I was like, holy wow, that is so beautiful. What the hell is that? I've never seen anything like that before in my life. But I think it's because I've been taking these supplements to help the brain grow and expand and explore this inner world of light and sound without poisoning it and freaking it out and saying it's wrong to go there. And it makes the brain cells feel safe to go there in a safe way. I don't know if this is true, but it just seems like it could be possibly true. And I'll end there so then I know where to put the screenshots in, and I'll start again. So I found a piece of paper that I haven't talked about related to the Muse monitor, and some experiments I want to do is put this thing on other people to compare their brain. One thing I'm curious about is this whole decibel reading, because I saw a few recordings of the Muse Monitor app, the decibel screen on YouTube, but the brains were in the 25 decibel to 50 decibel range across all the different frequencies, alpha, beta, delta, theta, gamma. And then there was a video about somebody listening to Mozart, and they were sort of in this lower 30 range, which seems like calming, but I'm not sure. But then I was looking at my things, and on the 12th, my brain was in the 50 to 105 decibel range. And when my brain was making sound on the 13th, it was in the 60 to 130 decibel range. And this is giving me an insight about when the brain switches from being a passive processor of sound that it's listening to actively co-creating sound with the universe, which is speaking from direct perception and insight. I don't know though, like the experiments that would need to be done to show this stuff is huge, and that's why I'm only really creating my own understanding and showing that it's fun to create one's own understanding, which is using one's own brain and eyes and body and being to be direct perception and testing things in reality instead of maybe sitting and passively reading scientific studies. This is more fun. The brain likes to perceive directly. And so I was looking at some of my screenshots from August 7th, which isn't a screen recording, but my brain was in the 80 to 123 decibel range. November 10th was 40 to 104. And there was another one from August 7th, 37 to 72. August 17th, 50 to 82. So I don't know where I was or what I was doing. Maybe I was outside. In August, I wasn't in crisis. November, I was, and then there was higher decibels there. And in August, I had just come back from 4 months or 5 months in California. So maybe it's good to have lower decibels. I don't know what is better. So I have to explore those things, and those are things that I want to look into. And I could put those screenshots in there, but maybe I won't bother because it's a lot of work. And then I think I talked about how there's less bands now compared to something like October 26th.